What's going on, guys? I'm Donovan Ferranzo, back for another red edition of the Top of the Key podcast. I want to say we're on episode 4, and we got the Euro finals, and we got Copa America tomorrow, or if you're watching this video on Saturday, tomorrow, whenever you watch the video, Sunday, July 14th. Euros and Copa, two phenomenal tournaments coming to a close, and it's been a very fun month of football. Personally, I prefer international football. That's kind of how I got into soccer in the first place, and I've always had a soft spot for international football. Whether it may be 2014 where I fell in love with Brazil, 2018 with the France team with Mbappe, Pogba, Griezmann, 2022 obviously with Messi winning it. So international football has been a pleasure to watch my whole childhood and going into adulthood. And we got the final, Spain versus England. First, we're going to touch on Spain because I think more people are more interested in the dynamic of England and what they're going to do, what Southgate's going to pull out. But with Spain, have looked by far the best team in the tournament. Obviously, you see the guys in the graphic, Rodri and Yamal. And the things that Yamal did when he was 16 years old, he's 17 now. But to be a teenager, 16, 17 years old, doing it in a tournament against professionals that have been playing for tens and even 20 10 to 20 years of football is exceptional. And Yamal, we kind of saw that in Barcelona as the season went on, and especially in the Champions League, we saw Yamal we saw what he could be, and the potential he has as a six. Well, now he's 17 years old, and throughout the tournament, we saw in the first game they thrashed Croatia 3-0, and that was kind of a wake up call. And the thing we saw with Spain is the possession, controlling it, tiki taka, building it from the back, and what we see now is it's kind of a dynamic. It's a whole different team than the Busquets, Iniesta, Xavi. Obviously, those teams on paper are way better, but this is a completely different team. And with Yamal and Nico Williams, who has been phenomenal this year, only I think 22 years old, 23 years old, bright future as a Barca fan. Would love to have him on the team. And Rodri, kind of the hub of the team, right? He's your central defensive mid and kind of opens up the game, gets good passes against Georgia, right? In the round of 16, we forget. Spain was down 1-0 to Georgia in like the 25th minute. And Rodri scored an absolute, but we always see Rodri score bangers. May that be in Man City against Inter Milan in the Champions League final. Banger, scored the game-winning goal. And Rodri had that whole unbeaten streak. I think he's still unbeaten. I don't know. It probably broke. But when starting, the teams have won like 50 games in a row. Cucurella has been playing very well in the left back. His time in Chelsea is kind of overshadowed his performance, but I think if you were to make a starting 11, Cucurella should be in that spot. Yunus Simone's been playing well. Danny Olmo replacing Pedri, obviously, as a Barcelona fan. I don't know how many times I have to say that, but I'm a Barcelona fan. Replacing Pedri, it sucks to see. He had a great tournament going, staying healthy, but what can you do? Danny Olmo stepping up, especially in that game against Germany in the quarterfinals, a goal and an assist. And Danny Olmo's been class. I think we've seen that. Fabian Ruiz has been class. Morata, Morata's a polarizing guy, especially in the striker position, but he'll get you a goal or two here or there. So Spain, the whole premise of Spain, this tournament has been the youth movement, and we've seen the youth players kind of take over. And now we're gonna go to England, and England is a whole different thing in itself. As an American, the comparison, if I was to explain England, would be like the Dallas Cowboys or the Lakers. You know, England and the UK, that is like the top social media or the top like media source of soccer, football, whatever you want to call it. So they're going to get the most criticism. They're going to get the most attention. And this team has gone through a whirlwind of emotions this tournament. The group stage, for lack of better words, was a snoozer. It was a snoozer. They had that one game. I don't know who they played first. I want to say Slovenia or Serbia. I think it was Slovenia. And they beat them 1-0. Kind of a boring game. Denmark tie, Serbia tie, and they were all questioning Southgate ball. And throughout the group stage, Kane didn't look good. There was just really no movement. The big question about Kane, or the big kind of criticism with Kane, is he likes coming back into the midfield and not running those through balls behind. Foden wasn't looking good in the group stage. The bright spot of the team was Kobe Manu. Sorry if I'm mispronouncing the name, but him in the midfield spot has been playing phenomenal for a youngster too. I think he only started in Man United in the fall of 2023, so in the beginning of the season, and to kind of see him take those jumps, and I think that's good for him, and I think he'll have great form in Man U after the Euro's done, regardless of win or lose. And then we saw the round of 16. You know, Slovakia scores the first one, and everyone's freaking out, and everyone's like, what's going to happen? Southgate ball, this, that. And they're going to flame out in the round of 16 against the mighty Slovakia, the powerhouse of Europe. And then you obviously saw that moment from Jude Bellingham, the bicycle kick, and Kane scoring that header, that kind of tap-in goal, but getting them through. Still Southgate getting hate. The game against Switzerland, Switzerland scores in the 79th minute, and Bolo. And then Saka, phenomenal goal. And what we've seen throughout the points of the tournament are just individual moments of brilliance with those players, whether it be Saka, whether it be Bellingham. Kind of those players just taking it into their own hands and making a play. And I think the thing is with this England team is, on paper, this is the most stacked England team, first off, I think, in their whole existence. I don't know, about 20, 30 years ago. But from what I've been watching, and probably since 2000, this is the best team on paper. This is the golden generation. They've got close so many times in Euro 2020, in the World Cup 2018, going out in the semis against Croatia. So they've been kind of building for this moment. You feel like it's finally England's time. And against the Netherlands, got that wondrous goal by Ollie Watkins to win in the 90th minute. Again, individual moments of brilliance. I would love to see Cole Palmer play. I would love to see Ollie Watkins play. If I was Gareth Southgate, you have to find a spot for Cole Palmer, I think. And it's tough because he's probably going to play on the inside, and you already have Saka on that side. You already have Foden trying to get in the squad. He's not going to take out Bellingham. And I think that back line is also a question, right? With the physical, or the form of Luke Shaw, if he's healthy, if he's in form enough to even give it a go. I know he played against it in the first half against Netherlands, but who knows how much he was hurting in that. I don't think Trent's going to get a spot in this game, whether it goes to penalties. But I think the starting 11 that they're going to go with is going to be Kane up top, and then you're going to have Foden on the left, Saka, Bellingham, Kobe Manu, Bellingham, and in the back line you're going to have Guehi, you're going to have Kyle Walker, you're going to have John Stones, and you're probably going to have Trippier on the left side. And Trippier on the left side is it's dicey, right? Trippier can give you some individual moments of brilliance, but at the same time, I think John Stones and Guehi can hold it down, and obviously have Pickford in goal. Now for my score prediction, I love Spain. And again, as a Barcelona fan, they have a lot of Spanish players. They have Yamal, they have Pedri, and Gavi's not on the squad, but you get the point. There's a lot of ties between Barcelona and Spain. It's always been like that with Iniesta, Xavi, Busquets, all of them. But I think it's coming home. I think this time it would just be the most England thing. All of them crapping and putting down Gareth Southgate. We want Southgate out. We want Southgate. Ban Southgate. And then they win. And then he wins this. He wins this, like, let's say with a sub with Ivan Toney, and he gets the winner or something like that. Or Palmer makes a free kick. It's the most England thing. And I know England hasn't won since like 1966. But I think it's going to happen. I'm going to go 2-1 England. Player of the tournament. I don't even know who the player of the tournament was. I don't know. Because I get you don't have to give it to a guy in England. I would still give it a Yamal. I think that goal against France was otherworldly, and his assist and the chances he's created overweigh everything, regardless of a win or lose. But I do think England wins, and I'll tell you the goal scorers. I'm gonna get a Foden goal, and we'll get a Ivan Toney goal, and I think Cole Palmer will get an assist. I think that's how the game's gonna go. Probably gonna be severely wrong, but it's just a weird feeling. It's just a weird feeling. Nothing against Spain. I wouldn't bat an eye if Spain wins, but I think it's coming home. I think it's coming home. So now we'll get into the Euro, or we'll get into the Copa America, and I'll give you that prediction right here. All right, we're back for Copa America, and listen, the Copa America has got a lot of flack, right? For the pitch, how it feels, to the stands, to the security, to the venues, to the everything. Okay, Copa America has got a lot of criticism, right? And I was actually at a Copa America game, Brazil, Costa Rica, and it was 0-0 draw, but it was a very fun experience. SoFi Stadium, one of the best in America. That Brazil squad was going through a lot, and it was just kind of sad to watch and to see Neymar in the stands. But regardless, Argentina, Colombia. Sorry, I try to give you a little Hispanic accent. Can't really do it. But Colombia has played a phenomenal tournament. We'll start with Colombia. Colombia, the longest unbeaten streak in the world, dating back to 2022 World Cup qualifier, or right after the World Cup qualifiers, right after the World Cup. And James Rodriguez, Luis Diaz, that whole team has played together. And the one thing about Colombia is it seems like they play together, right? That game against Uruguay, to use as a reference, they went up 1-0, 10 men on the field with about probably like right before halftime, so like 45 minutes left in the game. And Colombia really stood its own, right? And the thing about Colombia, like for example, against Panama, I know Panama's not, like a good team compared to the Euro teams, but regardless, against Panama, 5-0, Rodriguez, I think 3 or 4 assists. And James Rodriguez has completely changed the narrative kind of about his career. In 2014, obviously won the Golden Boot, Puskas Award in the World Cup, put his name on stage, on the stage of the world, and went to Bayern, then went to a multitude of clubs, and he didn't really feel his form. Now he's back playing in Brazil, and in this tournament, probably his last international tournament, really transformed this team. And Luis Diaz, obviously, Liverpool winger, attacker, whatever you want to call him, has played a great tournament. And this Colombia team is smoking, like red hot on fire. And now we go to Argentina. And I think this is where I think it won't, not to say anything about Colombia, but it's going to be about how Argentina plays, right? And we'll start with Messi, right? Messi has not looked like, prime Messi, whatever. But in the moments that you need Messi, he has delivered. And he's got hurt in the second game against Chile. Re-aggravated, I think, something in his knee, something in his leg. And it held him out for the third game in the group stage in the game against Canada, or the game against Ecuador. He didn't look like himself. He didn't look like Messi. And the tournament has progressed. He's kind of looked better in form. That Canada game, I think he looked really good. He was part of the build-up of the Alvarez goal, the first goal of the game. Obviously got that tap in the second goal. And then if you want to build around Argentina, Romero has played a phenomenal tournament, probably the best defender in the tournament. to my knowledge. Romero, phenomenal tournament. Debo Martinez, if this game ever goes to penalties, it's gonna be a rough for Colombia. Debo Martinez has a 50% save rate in penalties. I don't think people realize how absurd that is. Goalkeepers probably aim for 10 to 15% save rate. Debo Martinez has a 50% like save rate. That's not something you can overlook. I think DePaul has played really well. He's had a couple good assists. Um, DePaul gets a lot of flack. Oh, like Messi's bodyguard, this or that. But really good, solid midfielder, especially for his size. And that the strikers for Argentina will make or break this game. Arturo Martinez has played a phenomenal tournament. I think he's the golden boot winner if they're the golden boot whatever most goals in the tournament. Maybe Luis Diaz is right there with him, but it's weird for Arturo, right? Because in Copa America 2021, leading striker, scored a lot of goals. World Cup just got benched for Alvarez. Had a pretty bad performance in the World Cup, and then now in this Copa America has played phenomenal. For his club, he's played really good. So he's played a good tournament. So if one of those strikers, Julian Alvarez or Lautaro Martinez, play well, Argentina's going to win. Listen, Argentina, they haven't looked. There's been some games where Argentina hasn't looked like the Argentina of late, especially that game against Ecuador. Really, like, questionable performance. Even against Chile, right? Their goals have always came in the second half. I think against Canada in the semifinals, their first goal they scored in the first half. And I mean, needless to say, their defense has played well. Only let up goals I think against Ecuador. That was the only goal they let up in the whole tournament. So for my score prediction, I'm gonna go Argentina 1, Colombia 0. Right? I have some bias. I'm a Messi fan, whatever. But watching this Argentina team play, it feels like the last two. Well, not it feels like it has. The past 2 to 3 years has been all Argentina. Copa America, World Cup. Now won the finalissima. Now they're going to play in the Copa America final again. Lino Scaloni, I saw the stat, in all the major tournaments he's played, he's made the final and won it. And we'll see what happens in this tournament. So you can't really like look over that. And you can't look over this Colombia world record winning streak since for it's been about a year and a half. I think this game is going to be really physical. We're going to see a lot of yellow cards. We might even see a red card. We already saw a red card for Colombia. And obviously, listen, I'll tell you right now, that Colombia theme song, it's a banger. It's a banger. I'll tell you, I like it. The 3 years that I took Spanish, I understand some of the words. But regardless, I'm going to go Argentina 1, Colombia 0. Goal scorer, Lautaro Martinez, because who else would it be, right? I think Messi and James Rodriguez are going to play good games. I think this is going to be a better game than the Euro game, regardless of the number of goals. But I think this is going to be a better game. So, those are my Euro and Copa America predictions. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you guys think is going to happen, what I got wrong, this and that. Come back to the video and say, Donovan, you're wrong. Like, you suck. Like, what do you do when you say you know these things about sports? But I got Argentina winning. And I got England winning, and it's coming home finally. So it's been a pleasure, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.